Today we're examining low-fat yogurt and its role in gout management. Now, while this food has benefits, I want to approach this with a more measured perspective because the research here requires some nuance. Let's establish the basics first. Low-fat yogurt is promoted as beneficial for gout patients. It's low in purines, rich in calcium and protein, and it offers probiotics that support gut health. The claim is that regular consumption has been associated with a lower incidence of gout attacks. That sounds great on paper, but let's dig deeper. Here's where I want to inject some caution. The probiotic angle, while promising, is still somewhat indirect. Yes, yogurt provides beneficial bacteria that support gut health. And yes, gut health may improve inflammation and metabolic balance. But notice the word may in there. The connection between probiotics and gout management isn't as direct or as robustly studied as some other interventions. We're dealing with correlations and theoretical mechanisms more than hard clinical proof. The research linking dairy consumption to reduced gout attacks is fairly solid, but here's an important distinction. Most of that research doesn't specifically isolate yogurt. It looks at low-fat dairy products as a category. So when we say yogurt helps with gout, we're extrapolating from broader dairy studies. That's not necessarily wrong, but it's less precise than saying something like cherries reduce gout flares, which has been studied specifically. Now, let's talk about practical concerns. Not everyone tolerates yogurt well. Lactose intolerance is common, and while yogurt contains less lactose than milk due to the fermentation process, it can still cause digestive issues for sensitive individuals. If you're experiencing bloating, gas, or stomach discomfort after eating yogurt, those symptoms can add stress to your body, potentially triggering inflammation. That somewhat defeats the purpose. Another consideration: added sugars. Many commercial yogurts are loaded with sugar, even ones marketed as healthy. Sugar and high fructose intake are known risk factors for elevated uric acid. So if you're buying sweetened yogurt thinking you're helping your gout, you might actually be working against yourself. You need to be reading labels carefully and choosing plain, unsweetened varieties. The protein content is beneficial, I'll give it that. Like milk, yogurt provides protein without the purine load of meat. That's valuable. The calcium is helpful. The low purine content is definitely a plus. But when we compare yogurt to something like low-fat milk, which has clearer, more direct evidence for uric acid excretion, yogurt feels like a slightly weaker choice. Here's my more critical analysis. Yogurt is fine. It's a reasonable option for gout patients. But I wouldn't call it a superstar. It's more of a supporting player in your dietary strategy. If you enjoy yogurt and it agrees with your digestive system, by all means, include it. But don't expect it to be a game changer. Don't rely on it as your primary gout-fighting food. One warning worth mentioning: some people assume that because yogurt is fermented and contains probiotics, more is better. They start consuming large amounts daily. But moderation matters. Excessive dairy intake can sometimes lead to other health concerns, and balance is always key in nutrition. Stick to reasonable portions, maybe 1 to 2 servings per day maximum. The bottom line on low-fat yogurt is this: it's a decent addition to a gout-friendly diet, but it's not essential. It's not backed by the strongest evidence. It requires careful selection to avoid added sugars. And it won't work for everyone due to digestive tolerance issues. Include it if you want, but don't feel like you're missing out if yogurt isn't your thing. There are other, potentially more effective options available. Stay informed, stay critical, and choose what works best for your individual situation. Thanks for listening.